Morning, students. Today we will discussing about the political science chapter first, Cold War era and non-aligned movement. This is the new topic according to the CBSE, provided the syllabus in the previous year 2020 and 21, and there are some points reduced in this chapter and updated videos. Currently, I will study you. So, without wasting time, start Cold War era and non-aligned movement. First, starting the chapter, the topic name means the title name is clear. So what is Cold War? Cold War means the tensions between the two countries, the tensions between the weapons race, the tensions between the two powerful countries, USA and USSR, right? And this is a conflict between the mentally, not a physically. It's known as Cold War era. And non-aligned movements means the country that not participates these both countries, USA and USSR, and no any types of agreement and no any types of friendship relationship to the USA and USSR, right? So there are the two countries is there. In the slides, you seen that first American soldiers raising the US flag during the Battle of Iwo Jima, Japan on 23rd Feb 1945, and raising the flag on Iwo Jima. And the second one is Soviet soldiers raising the USSR flag on the Reichstag building in Berlin, Germany in May 1945. And according to these pictures, you've seen that two major power rising. The end of the Second World War lead to the rise of two major centers of power. And the two pictures above symbolize the victory of the US and the USSR in the Second World War. Right. So now the next topic is Cuba Missiles Crisis. Cuba is the island nearby the America, USA. So Cuba was an ally of the Soviet Union and received diplomatic and financial aid from it. In 1962, the leader of the Soviet Union, Nikita Khrushchev, the name of the leader is Nikita Khrushchev, placed nuclear missiles in Cuba for converting it into a Russian base. And 3 weeks later, Americans became aware of it. Kennedy ordered American warships to intercept any Soviet ships heading to Cuba as a way of warming and the USSR. The Cuba Missiles Crisis was a high point which came to be known as the Cold War. This is the major reasons that USSR placed the missiles in the nearby USA. See, in the map, you have seen that Cuba, there are the missiles is there and this type. And after the 3 weeks, American know about this awareness of the missiles. So American President Kennedy ordered to the warships and the to handle this Cuba Missiles Crisis. And all over the world desire that, inform that this type of Third World War may be created. But the Cold War referred to the competitions, the tensions, and a series of confrontations between two countries like USA and USSR, right? The Cold War was the war of ideology. What is Cold War? It is basically war of the ideologies. The USA followed the ideology of liberal democracy and capitalisms, while the USSR backed the ideology of socialisms and communalisms, right? So the Cold War was the war of the ideologies. USA ideologies was capitalisms and USSR is socialisms, right? The Second World War in 1939 to 1945 came to an end with the defeat of the Axis powers led by Germany, Italy, and Japan, and by the Allied forces led by the US, Soviet Union, Britain, and France. Right? And it marked the beginning of the Cold War. The Second World War ended. The United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japan cities of Hiroshima and Nagasaki in August 1945, causing Japan to surrender. And this decision of the US was both criticized and supported, but the consequence of the end of the Second World War was the rise of 2 new powers on the global stage. This is known as Cold War, and this is the major features of Cold War. So the World War ended when the United States dropped 2 atomic bombs on the Japan cities, 6 August 1945 in Hiroshima, and the bomb nicknamed code name is Little Boy. 15 kilotons के थे ये bomb. And on 9 August 1945 Nagasaki, जिसका कोड नेम दिया गया था Fat Man, और ये 21 kilotons के थे, जैसे कि आप पिक्चर्स में देख रहे हो. So by the early 1950s, the US and the USSR were already making the thermonuclear weapons that had a yield between 10 to 15,000 kilotons. So in other words, these bombs were 1,000 times more destructive than the bombs used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki. So during much of the Cold War, both the superpowers posed thousands of such weapons. Just imagine the extent of destructions that these could cause all over the globe, right? So why is the end of Cold War second considered to be the beginning of the Cold War? Why is the end of the World War II considered to be the beginning of the Cold War? क्यों बोला क्या? हो सकता है maybe ये questions आने के chances हो. So there are the reason is that number one, the World War II is considered to be the beginning of the Cold War due to the following reasons. Number one is World War II had brought about the destructions in various parts of the world. As a result, only the USA and USSR emerged as the two superpowers. Number two, since both the powers followed a different ideology of economic, political, and social system, there began a competitions between them to prove their supremacy. And third one is, in order to curtail the power of each other, the two powers also built alliance systems. Alliance system created. And the alliance system provided them with vital resources, territories, and economic aid. Despite owning various nuclear and non-nuclear weapons, the two powers did not get into a full-fledged war, as they both realized that a war could only bring destructions to them without any clear conclusions. So this is called the logic of deterrence. And the Cold War ended with the disintegrations of the USSR in 1991, right? So the logic of the deterrence means, what are the logic of the deterrence means? But the Cold War, in spite of being an intense form of rivalry between great powers, remained a cold and not hot or shooting war. It was due to the logic of deterrence, means when both sides have the capacity to respond against an attack and to cause so much destructions that neither can afford to initiate war. So एक तरह की टेंशन हो गई थी, इस तरह से लॉजिक ऑफ डिफरेंस देना जो फिजिकली वॉर ना होके मेंटली वॉर को क्रिएट करना, राइट? So Europe was divided into rival alliances during the Cold War. Different divided हो गए. जो येलो कलर में आप देख रहे हो ये नाटो के मेंबर्स हैं, जो रेड कलर में देख रहे हो वो वार्सा के मेंबर्स हैं, राइट? और जो ग्रीन कलर में है वो अदर कम्युनिस्ट नेशंस है और बाकी अदर्स वाले अदर्स नहीं. सो द एमर्जेंस ऑफ टू सुपर पावर ब्लॉक्स, जैसे अभी हमने बताया था, तो इन्होंने क्या किया, ये वेस्टर्न अलायंस कर दिया और दूसरा इन्होंने क्या किया, ईस्टर्न अलायंस कर दिया. वेस्टर्न अलायंस मतलब यूएसए ने किया. द वेस्टर्न अलायंस वाज फॉर्मलाइज्ड इनटू एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन एंड द नेम ऑफ द ऑर्गेनाइजेशन इज नाटो. फुल फॉर्म क्या है इसकी, ये वाइवा के क्वेश्चन में पूछने के चांसेस होते हैं. नॉर्थ अटलांटिक ट्रीटी ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. एंड द नाटो डिक्लेयर्ड दैट armed attack on any one of them in Europe or North America would be regarded as an attack on all of them. ठीक है, और ईस्टर्न अलायंसेस जो यूएसएसआर ने किया, the Eastern Alliance is known as the Warsaw Pact, was led by the Soviet Union and its principal functions was to counter NATO forces in Europe. काउंटर करना था पूरा, राइट। अब उनके कौन कौन से मेंबर थे नाटो के? यूनाइटेड स्टेट्स, बेल्जियम, ब्रिटेन, कनाडा, डेनमार्क, आइसलैंड, इटली, लुक्सेमबर्ग, नीदरलैंड्स, नॉर्वे, पुर्तगाल, फिर ग्रीक एंड तुर्की 1952 में आए, वेस्ट जर्मनी 1955 में, एंड देन स्पेन 1953 में आए। फिर वार्सा पैक्ट में ये यूएसएसआर पूरा था, अल्बानिया, बुल्गारिया, सिचोस्लोवाकिया, ईस्ट जर्मनी, हंगरी, पोलैंड, रोमानिया, ये सारे थे, राइट। देखो ये इस तरह से पूरा डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन हुआ, फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड, सेकेंड वर्ल्ड और फिर ये थर्ड वर्ल्ड। So the emergence of two power blocks, the USS and USSR wanted to expand their spheres of influence in different parts of the world. So these smaller states got the promise of protections, weapons and economic aid against their local rivals, mostly regional neighbors. So the first division took place in Europe. The countries of the Eastern Europe joined the Soviet camp and came to be known as the Eastern Alliances. And the Western Alliance formed itself into an organization, the NATO, North Atlantic Treaty Organizations. And in the East and Southeast Asia and the West Asia, the United States built an alliance system called the Southeast Asia Treaty, CETO, and CENTO, Central Treaty Organizations. राइट ये भी एक वाइवा का क्वेश्चन है, सीएटओ और सेंटो इसकी फुल फॉर्म क्या है? So mainly newly independent countries were worried of losing their freedom. Cracks and splits within the alliances were quick to appear. Communist China quarreled with the USSR towards the late 1950s and in 1969. They fought a brief war over a territorial disputes. Fought भी हुए थे चाइना के साथ। And why did the superpowers have military alliances with smaller countries? क्यों क्या हुआ था? उसके कुछ points. Number one, vital resources as oil and minerals, जैसा कि अभी बताया था. Number two, territory from where the superpowers could launch their weapons and troops. मतलब territory मिलेगी उनको, superpowers को support मिलेगी उनको, weapons and troops मिलेंगे. Number third, locations from where they could spy on each other. जासूसी कर सकते थे, इस तरह की इनको locations मिल गई. And the last one is economic support to pay their military expenses. Okay. So how the next question क्या बनता है? How the smaller states were helpful for the superpowers. So the loyalty of alliance suggests that the superpowers were winning the wars of ideas, as well that liberal democracy and capitalism were better than socialism and communism or vice versa. So they were also important for ideology reasons. Okay. So arenas of the Cold War. What are the arenas of the Cold War? Berlin in 1958 to 62. Korea in 1952 to 53. Congo 1960s. Cuba 1962, Vietnam 1954 to 75, and Afghanistan in 1979 to 89. So what are the arenas of the Cold War? This is a very most important questions. Learn it properly, right? इसके लिए मैंने point to point बना के देखा, right? इसके question answer, इसके objective type के questions, इसके notes, ये सारी मैं link में provide करता हूँ, ठीक है? So the arenas of the Cold War refers to areas where crisis and war occurred or threatened to occur between the alliance system, but did not cross certain limits. What are the arenas of the Cold War? Refer to areas where crisis and war occurred or threatened to occur between the alliance system, but did not cross certain limits, right? And the Cold War is also responsible for several shooting wars. The two superpowers were poised for direct encounter in Korea, Berlin, Congo, and in several other places. So Jawaharlal Nehru, one of the key leader of NAM, non-aligned movement, played a key role in mediating between the two Koreas. The USA and USSR decide to collaborate in limiting or eliminating certain kinds of nuclear and non-nuclear weapons, right? And a stable balance of power. So what do the US and USSR decide to collaborate in limiting certain kinds of nuclear and non-nuclear weapons? So starting in the 1960s, two sides signed 3 significant agreements. इन्होंने क्या किया? फिर दोनों ने मिलके 3 significant साइन किए. कौन-कौन से? एक तो लिमिटेड टेस्ट बैन ट्रीटी नंबर 1, नंबर 2 न्यूक्लियर नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी एंड एंटी बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल्स ट्रीटी. इस तरह से 3 वेपन्स इन्होंने साइन किए. किसके लिए? बैलेंस ऑफ पावर को करने के लिए, न्यूक्लियर एंड नॉन न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स को लिमिटेड करने के लिए, राइट? सो ये क्वेश्चन भी आने का चांसेस है. कौन-कौन से ऐसे 3 एग्रीमेंट्स हुए थे? एक तो लिमिटेड टेस्ट बैन ट्रीटी, दूसरा न्यूक्लियर नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी और तीसरा एंटी बैलिस्टिक मिसाइल ट्रीटी, राइट? सो ड्रॉन बाय वेल नोन इंडियन कार्टूनिस्ट क्यूटी, ये क्यूटी ने बनाया था. दिस कार्टून डिस्प्लेड एन इंडिया व्यू ऑफ द कोल्ड वॉर एंड द cartoon was drawn when the US entered into a secret understanding with China, keeping with the USSR in the dark. ठीक है? China makes overtures to the USA. देखो किस तरह से USA चाइना के साथ बैठ के ये पिक्चर्स क्यूटी ने बनाया था, इंडिया कार्टूनिस्ट. On food for thought, ये प्रेसिडेंट जॉनसन is in more troubles over Vietnam. Right, and the cartoons depict the American misadventures in Vietnam. Find out more about the Vietnam War. ठीक है? ये president है Johnson. Now, non-alignment movement. 18th midterm ministries meeting of the non-aligned movement, Baku, Azerbaijan, April 3rd, 6, 2018. So challenge to bipolarity non-aligned movement, जिसको नाम दिया गया. अब वो क्या है? नंबर 1, the Afro-Asian conference held in the Indonesia city of Bandung in 1955, commonly known as the Bandung Conference, marked the zenith of Indian engagements with the newly independent Asians and African nations. So the Bandung Conference later led to the establishment of the NAM. किसके बेस पे हुआ? बैंडन कॉन्फ्रेंस के बेस पे हुआ. और ये कब हेल्ड हुई? 1955 में. ठीक है? और उसके बाद क्या एस्टैब्लिश हो गया? नाम. नाम की फुल फॉर्म क्या है? नॉन अलाइन्ड मूवमेंट. गिव द न्यूली इंडिपेंडेंट कंट्रीज ए वे ऑफ स्टेइंग आउट ऑफ द अलायंसेस. The roots of NAM went back to the friendships among these 5 leaders. कौन-कौन से थे? यूगोस्लोवाकिया, जोसेफ ब्रोज टिटो, इंडियंस जवाहरलाल नेहरू, इजिप्ट जामल अब्दुल नासिर, सुकार्नो ऑफ इंडोनेशिया एंड गाना, क्वामे नक्रूग 1956. ये जो आप पिक्चर देख रहे हो ये सारे. The first non-aligned summit was held in Belgrade. देखो कब हुई समिट? बेलग्रेड के अंदर 1961 में, और उसमें 25 मेंबर्स शामिल थे. And the 18th summit of non-aligned movement was held. 18th summit, ये important question है भैया. 25 and 26 अक्टूबर को 2019 में कहाँ हुआ था? बाकू, अजरबैजान में. और इसमें 120 कंट्रीज ने पार्टिसिपेट किया था, राइट? ये अभी लेटेस्ट का है, इसको अच्छी तरह से देख लेना. ये सारे लोग थे जिन्होंने इस नॉन अलाइनमेंट मूवमेंट से फाउंडर थे. So, factors lead to the formations of the NAM. ऐसे कौन से factors थे जिसकी बेस पे ये सारे हुए? Number 1, cooperations among these 5 countries and their leaders. Number 2, growing Cold War tensions and its winding arenas. And number 3, the dramatic entry of mainly new decolonized African countries in the international arena. Right? So, NAM was the easier to define the terms of what it was not. अब क्या था? The policies of staying away from alliances should not be considered isolations or neutrality. So non-alignment is not isolationism. Since isolation means remaining aloof from world affairs, isolation sums up the foreign policies of the US from the American War of Independence in 1787 up to beginning of the First World War. And non-alignment is also not neutrality, means principally to a policy of staying out of war. States practicing neutrality are not required to help end a war. They do not get involved in wars and do not take any positions on the appropriate or neutrality of a war. Okay. So new international economic order. What are the new international economic order? The new international economic order was the idea of sustained economic development proposed by the newly decolonized countries of Asia, Africa, and Latin America. And since most of these nations had a shared history of being ruled by a colonial power, they did not want to affiliate to any of the superpowers. They instead worked towards their economic development without being dependent on richer nations. So the following are the reforms proposed by the United Nations Conference for Trade and Development report in 1972. LDC, full form is, what is the full form? Least development countries. Control over the natural resources exploited by the development Western countries. Obtain access for the LDCs to the Western markets so that LDCs could sell their products and therefore make it more beneficial for poor countries. Reduce the cost of technology from the Western country and provide the LDCs with a greater role in international economic institutions, right? And India rules during the Cold War. Kya rules tha? Number one, India took particular care in staying away from the two alliances. Dur rehna chahta. India raised its voice against the newly decolonized countries from becoming part of these alliances. Number three, ये very most important question है ध्यान रखिए. Number three, India was in favor of actively intervening in world's affairs to soften Cold War rivalries. Number four, Indian leaders and diplomats were often used to communicate and meditate. Number fifth, India chose to involve other members of the NAM in the missions. And number six, India repeatedly tried to activate those regional and international organizations which were not a part of alliances led by the US and the USSR. Okay, and how serve India interested? First, non-alignment allowed India to take international decisions and a stance that served its interest rather than the interest of the superpower and their alliances. And the second is, India was often able to balance one superpower against the other. And if India felt ignored or unduly pressurized by one superpower, it could tilt towards the other. So neither alliance system could take India for granted or bully it, right? And Indian policies of non-aligned movement was criticized, बहुत criticized हुई Indian policies. Unprincipled say, often used to take firm stand on crucial international issues. And sometimes India took contradictory postures, having criticized others for joining alliances. Treaty of Friendships in August 1971, ये USSR के साथ इसने treaty कर दी, जिसके बेस पे और ज़्यादा crisis हुई. And during Bangladesh crisis, also India developed good relations even with the USA in the name of diplomatic and military support. Arms control treaty हुई, जैसे कि अभी बताया था, ये सारी treaty, जैसे limited test ban treaty, banned nuclear weapons in outer space and underwater, signed by the US, UK, and USSR in Moscow in 5th August 1963. Enter into force on 10 October 1963. फिर हुआ था न्यूक्लियर नॉन प्रोलिफरेशन ट्रीटी, ये हुई थी 1 जनवरी 1967 को, ये भी मॉस्को में हुई थी. एंड देन स्ट्रेटजी आर्म्स लिमिटेशन स्टॉक फर्स्ट, यानी जिसको बोलते हैं सॉल्ट, स्ट्रेटेजिक आर्म्स लिमिटेशन स्टॉक, ये हुआ था नवंबर 1969 में. एंड स्ट्रेटजी आर्म्स लिमिटेशन स्टॉक सेकंड ये नवंबर 1972 में हुआ था, जिसमें यूएस प्रेसिडेंट जिमी कार्टर एंड सोवियत लीडर लियोनिड ब्रेजनी इसने ट्रीटी साइन की। फिर ट्रीटी स्टार्ट START यानी स्ट्रेटजी आर्म्स रिडक्शन ट्रीटी फर्स्ट एंड सेकंड हुआ था। इस तरह से ये न्यूक्लियर वेपन्स को कंट्रोल करने के लिए ट्रीटी हुई। ठीक है, अब फिर आगे आपकी क्रोनोलॉजी, जिसके अंदर कौन कौन से, ये आपके यूपीएससी के एग्जाम्स के लिए, हर एग्जाम्स के लिए मोस्ट है कि अमेरिकन प्रेसिडेंट हैरी ट्रूमन्स डॉक्ट्राइन अबाउट कंटेनमेंट ऑफ कम्युनिज्म 1947, बर्लिन ब्लॉकहेड बाय द सोवियत यूनियन 1948 से 49, defeated of the French by Vietnam's at Dien Bien through signing of Geneva Accord divisions of Vietnam, long by 17 parallel formations of Seattle 1954, signing of Baghdad Pact letter Santo 1955। तो कुछ इस तरह से क्रोनोलॉजी है जिसके बेस पे आपको ईयर और उसके इवेंट्स के बारे में। क्यूबा मिसाइल क्राइसिस कब हुआ था? 1962। सोवियत इंटीग्रेशंस इन हंगरी 1956 में, अमेरिकन इंटरवेंशंस इन वियतनाम 1954 से 1975। ठीक है, ये इसकी क्रोनोलॉजी। सो आई होप सो कि आपको यहाँ तक ये पूरा का पूरा